All right, those live pictures coming to you live from the Supreme Court, where this particular hearing on the presidential petition challenging the election of William Ruto as President of the Republic of Kenya. These particular hearings will be happening from the Milimani Law Courts. This is what will be the center of attention for the next couple of days, and what you can see right now on your screen is the team representing William Samoei Ruto, the president-elect. Remember, in the petition by Raila Odinga, William Ruto is the 9th respondent. And in this particular case, his lawyers right now, a battery of lawyers that have already arrived to respond to the petition by Raila Odinga amongst the other petition. Remember, a total of 9 petitions were filed at the Supreme Court to challenge that particular election. And of course, the petition by Raila Odinga, there is another petition by Ngatia Omtata, there is a petition by the Youth Advocacy Africa. And in each of the cases in which William Samoei Ruto is mentioned to be a respondent, he is responding to the issues raised in the petitions. I can see the team that is representing William Ruto in this particular case quickly through the lawyers that I can see on the screen, or the lawyers that I can see present here, led by Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is the immediate former senator for Tharaka Nithi County. I can as well see the Secretary General for UDA, that is Madam Veronica Maina. I can as well see the immediate former governor for Makueni County, Professor Kivutha Kibwana, also part of the team, lawyers Collins Kiprono. And just also to go through the list that has been presented to us by the team representing William Ruto, the list that will be battling out here in the Court of Appeal. The legal team, through the official lists handed over to the Supreme Court, will be head by Senior Counsel Fred Ngatia. He will be the lead counsel for William Samoei Ruto. Also, other senior counsels in the suit for William Samoei Ruto include Kioko Kilukumi, senior counsel, as well as senior counsel Kirago Kemani. Other lawyers who will be representing William Ruto, or in this particular case, advocates on record, will be led by Professor Kithure Kindiki, like I said, the immediate former senator for Tharaka Nithi County. There is Katwa Kigen. There is Dr. Linda Musumba, Dr. Muthomi Thiankolu, Professor Kivutha Kibwana, the immediate former governor for Makueni County. Elias Mutuma will also be on record for William Samoei Ruto. Omwanza Ombati, Melissa Ngania, Samuel Chepkonga. Ababu Namwamba will also be on record for William Ruto. Edward Mureu, Wilfred Nyamu Mati, Elgeyo Marakwet, Senator Kipchumba Murkomen will also be on record. Benson Milimo, and the Bomet Senator-elect Hilary Sigei will also be on record for William Ruto, including also Caroline Jerono, Chris Ayeko, Lilian Wanjiku Nyaga, Hanan Hassan El-Kathiri, Collins Kiprono, Henry Paul Gishana, Monica Nyuguto, and Ian Chelal. Those are the people who we will be seeing in the next couple of days. I can see Uasin Gishu woman representative Gladys Boss-Sholei. I don't know if she can give us a word right now exclusively on NTV in regards to the petition that they are filing. But even as we wait for Gladys Sholei, it is also important that we mention that earlier today we saw Raila Odinga respond to that petition by Moses Kuria. Remember, Moses Kuria in his petition to the Supreme Court wanted the court to find Raila Odinga culpable of an election offense. Of course, owing to what happened at the National Tallying Center at the Bomas of Kenya. Moses Kuria attributing the action by Raila Odinga's chief agent Saitabao Ole Kanchori, as well as Narok Senator Ledama Olekina, to actions that were committed, or commissioned rather, by Raila Odinga, who was a presidential candidate. And so in his petition, Moses Kuria wanted the Supreme Court to find Raila Odinga having committed an election offense, and thus that is largely seen to preempt a possible decision should the Supreme Court use Section 80, subsection 4 of the Elections Act, an order for a recount of the ballot and declare Raila Odinga president-elect. So Moses Kuria trying to, find Raila Odinga to make the court say that Raila Odinga committed an election offense. However, in their response to that particular petition, Raila Odinga and Martha Karua have requested the Supreme Court to strike out that particular petition, saying that that is not within the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Actually, as they were quoting Article 163 of the Constitution of Kenya, under which the Supreme Court was formed, they say that the Supreme Court does not have a jurisdiction to listen to election offenses. Actually, they say that according to Article 163 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court only has exclusive mandate to listen to presidential petitions. So that is the strength in which, or strength under which, Martha Karua and Raila Odinga want the Moses Kuria petition thrown out of court. They also say that there is no time limitation as to the Raila Odinga, as to the Moses Kuria petition. Thus, it should be struck out and should be taken to a different court to be heard from there. So, according to what we have seen as a response, rather, of Raila Odinga and Martha Karua to the Moses Kuria petition, their request to the court is to throw out that particular petition. We are yet to see how the team representing William Samoei Ruto will be defending William Samoei Ruto in this particular case, because remember, in the Raila Odinga petition, in which William Ruto was listed as the 9th respondent, they said that he was party to the irregularities that they are alleging happened in the presidential election. They say that the officials of IEBC, in collusion or perhaps in full knowledge of William Samoei Ruto, knowingly tampered with the results, and even at some point, according to the Raila Odinga petition, there was something they name as staging, in which they say that results that were transmitted from the polling stations on Form 34A are not the exact results which were transmitted at the final National Tallying Center, the Bomas of Kenya, stating that the Kenya Kwanza side had advantage in accessing or intercepting the forms as they were being relayed to the National Tallying Center, and conducting sort of editing the forms, and in the forms changing the content and writing numbers that were in favor of William Ruto and to the disadvantage of Raila Odinga. So they say that, and that is part of what William Ruto will be responding to, because he said perhaps to have colluded with the said IEBC, the said rogue IEBC officials, according to the petition by Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. Also earlier today, it is important to mention that aside from responding to the Moses Kuria petition, we also saw the Azimio la Umoja party leader, the presidential candidate Raila Odinga, submit a written, give written submissions on his case, in which we have seen sort of some new element that is now before the court. And Raila Odinga and Martha Karua specifically want the cost of this suit to be on Wafula Chebukati, the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Remember, they argue that since in 2017 the Supreme Court did not want to touch Chebukati on the ruling, or on the verdict that it eventually made, then that allegedly emboldened Chebukati and made him rogue. So this particular time, they want the court to find Chebukati personally liable for the mismanagement or alleged mismanagement of this election, and they want the IEBC chair compelled to meet the costs of this suit that they have filed. Remember, tomorrow is the final deadline for submitting responses for all the respondents in this case. But what is happening today is that the William Ruto team is responding to these cases earlier. This is about a day earlier, because they were supposed to have finished responding to this case 4 days upon being served by the petition. Remember, they were all served on Tuesday, so the 4th day should be tomorrow, and by tomorrow, at around 2 p.m, we expect all the respondents, including IEBC commissioners in their individual capacity, who will also be expected to respond to this particular petition that was filed here. 9 petitions. Of course, we hope that by next week, it is largely anticipated that perhaps the petitions will be consolidated, just to give the Supreme Court an opportunity to listen to these petitions. Perhaps the petitions that will be seeking sort of the same prayers may be consolidated, and we may get to see a smaller number of petitions being heard before the Supreme Court. But like I have said, the team of Kenya Kwanza, the team representing William Samoei Ruto, here currently led by immediate former Senator for Tharaka Nithi County, Professor Kithure Kindiki, is at the Supreme Court submitting the responses by William Ruto in the petition in which his win to be the President of the Republic of Kenya on the elections conducted on the 9th of August 2022 is being challenged. Remember, according to what we really expect the Supreme Court to, the verdict the Supreme Court might give upon hearing and this particular matter, they may, one, uphold the win of William Samoei Ruto if they will not be convinced that there were irregularities that affected the election. They might as well sort of altogether nullify the presidential election, and that will have the country go to a fresh election within 60 days, as is envisaged under Article 140 of the Constitution. Or according to the Sections Act, according to the Elections Act, rather, they might decide to order for a recount. And if in that particular recount, according to Section 80, subsection 4 of the Elections Act, if under that recount a winner will be apparent, then the court will be at liberty to direct the Electoral Commission to grant the certificate to the winner of the election. But those are the options we are looking at. Perhaps, I repeat, upholding the win of William Ruto, or if not upholding the win of William Ruto, in which he will be sworn in immediately after, then they may find that the election was invalid, and thus they may force the country to go back to a fresh election within 60 days. That is according to Article 140 of the Constitution. Or according to the Elections Act, Section 80, subsection 4, they might order for a recount of the ballot, and if the winner is apparent, then they will order the Electoral Commission, IEBC, to grant the election certificate to the winner, and thus will have broken the stalemate. But so many days we are still waiting for, here at the Supreme Court, even as this happens. Let me try see whether I can speak to the Uasin Gishu woman representative, Gladys Boss-Sholei. Mheshimiwa, we kindly beg to speak to you on NTV if you want to come with us. Perhaps on this particular petition that, on the response for William Ruto that you are filing or submitting at the Supreme Court. The deadline is not yet here. I know that you'll do the official, but perhaps tell us right now what, you have been bringing these responses in batches. What exactly is happening?
Do this. I do not want to have an interview outside before we finish with the rest of the team. We are, as you can see, we are an extremely disciplined team. So we have a team leader, who is Professor Kindiki. I have senior counsel with me. So let's wait.
Mm-hmm. And perhaps in what we are, you were the chief, you were part of the chief agents for William Samoei Ruto, and it was alleged that what was happening at the National Tallying Center perhaps would have invalidated the election. As a chief agent, perhaps not as a lawyer in the case, but as a chief agent, do you still believe that the win by William Ruto was valid, Mheshimiwa?
No. I told you I'm not making a statement now. Later.
Thank you so much. Well, that is Gladys Boss-Sholei, the woman representative for Uasin Gishu County. Does not want to comment on the matter before the other members of the team in the legal team for William Ruto comment. But she says that they have a team leader who will speak. In that the team leader that we are currently seeing here is Professor Kithure Kindiki, and I'll just take you through. I'll take you back through the list that I read for you for the members, the legal team rather, that will be representing William Ruto in this particular petition. Remember, in Raila Odinga's petition, William Ruto is listed as respondent number 9, and the team by William Ruto will be led by Fred Ngatia. I'm not seeing him in court right now. The person I am seeing in court is Professor Kithure Kindiki, who perhaps will give a comment on their response to this particular petition that was filed by Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, as well as the other petitions. Remember, in the Okia Omtata petition, in which he argues, just like Raila Odinga and Martha Karua argue, that in this election there was no winner no candidate who attained the requisite 50% plus 1 votes that is required to declare someone a president-elect rather. So all this we shall be seeing what their rebuttal will be, especially from Kenya Kwanza and the rebuttal from IEBC. According to the IEBC, when they were submitting the results transmission forms on Tuesday or Wednesday rather, they said that they are certain that they conducted a fair, free, transparent and verifiable election as is required by the Constitution, and they said that they will prove that in court in the next coming few days. But we still expect them, the IEBC, to be for submitting their final response to the petition tomorrow before 2 p.m. What they submitted on Wednesday were only on Tuesday rather, were only results transmission form, in that Form 34A, which was written at the polling station. Then there was Form 34B, which was also written at the constituency tallying center, and Form 34C, which the National Tallying Center Wafula Chebukati used in declaring William Samoei Ruto the winner, as well as Form 34D. They say that that is what they presented to court on Tuesday, and not only in hard copy, not only in physical form, but they presented those forms as well in soft copy, because that was part of the requirement by the Raila Odinga team, in which they said 24 hours, or rather 48 hours upon filing their petition, then the IEBC, in which in their petition the IEBC is the first respondent, should be compelled to avail those particular documents. So on Wednesday rather, we saw about 7 or 8 hard disks being presented by the IEBC. We also saw forms in their thousands, because in terms of Forms 34A, we are talking about 46,229 forms which were used at polling stations, and that is what the IEBC presented. They also presented 291 Forms 34B, as well as Form 34C and Form 34D, all of which are results transmission form. Remember, Raila Odinga and Martha Karua are also saying that the results or the Kenya Integrated Electronic Management System, KIMS-KIT, that was sold, or that was given to the IEBC by Smartmatic, was sort of interfered with, and it could not offer an independent results. And that is also part of what the IEBC will be seeking to prove in their response, just to make sure that they defend their position, in which they say that the elections were free and fair, and that William Ruto was validly elected to be president of the Republic of Kenya. Lots of actions will be happening from the Supreme Court. Of course, the 7-judge bench will be led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, who will be hearing through this particular petition. Of course, the other judges include Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu. Then there are other judges who will be listening to this particular petition. Remember, according to how the bench is currently constituted, there are judges who will be listening to a presidential petition for the first time. There are also other judges who will be listening to the presidential petition for the second time, as well as judges who will be listening to the petition for the third time, because judges like Smoky Wanjala has been on the bench since 2013, when the petition in 2013 by Raila Odinga challenging Uhuru Kenyatta's win was being heard. Smoky Wanjala was in that bench that unanimously upheld Uhuru Kenyatta's win. The judges who will be listening to this particular matter for the first time include the Chief Justice herself, Martha Koome, and Justice William Ouko, who is the immediate former president of the Court of Appeal. And remember, in listening to this matter, Justice William Ouko will be invited to actually, amongst other things, determine a matter that he was part of a bench that ruled on it in 2016. That is the minor Kiai case that has really been mentioned in this particular petition. Remember that time when the Court of Appeal ruled that the results at the polling station is final, and Justice William Ouko, currently is a judge of the Supreme Court, was then a judge at the Court of Appeal, and he was amongst the 5 judges who listened to that particular matter in which IEBC had appealed against a ruling of the High Court in the minor Kiai case. Now, Justice Njoki Ndung'u has also been on that particular bench since 2013. This will be her 3rd presidential petition that she'll be listening to. This will be the 2nd presidential petition for Justice Isaac Lenaola. It will be the 3rd presidential petition for Justice Mohamed Ibrahim, even though he could not sit through the 2017 petition, of course, owing to ill health at that particular time. But he was a judge. He is part of the bench, the inaugural bench of the Supreme Court, the 7-judge bench that was constituted owing to the strength of Article 163 of the Constitution of Kenya. So our eyes still here at the Supreme Court. Immediately they give a comment on this particular matter, then our viewers are sure to get it fast from NTV and factual from NTV.